In 1942, Nazi Germany controlled most of Western Europe. The port of St Nazaire on the west coast of France was a crucial hub for the German war effort. The British knew that if they could destroy the dock facilities at St Nazaire, it would severely hamper the German Navy's ability to launch U-boats into the Atlantic. The problem was, the dock was heavily fortified and heavily guarded. It seemed an impossible mission. But the British had a plan. The British commandos, led by Lieutenant Colonel Charles Newman, trained tirelessly for months. The planning for the raid was a complex and meticulous process. The commandos studied the dock and its defenses in great detail and came up with a plan to use a specially modified destroyer, HMS Campbelltown, to crash into the dock gate and destroy it. This was to be the key element in the attack. The commandos also had the German codebooks, allowing them to edge even closer to the dry dock without raising the alarm. On the night of March 28, 1942, the commandos set out from their base in England. They had to navigate through heavily guarded waters and avoid detection by the German defenses in order to reach the dock. They were outnumbered and outgunned, but they were determined to succeed. The Campbelltown crashed into the dock gate and the commandos disembarked and destroyed the dock facilities and other strategic points. After completing their objectives, the commandos withdrew and headed to their rendezvous point. Despite heavy losses, the commandos managed to destroy the dock facilities. But the majority of the commandos were either killed or captured before they could reach the rendezvous point. The Campbelltown, abandoned and primed with explosives, was set to detonate after the commandos had completed their mission. However, the fuse was poorly designed and the ship's explosion was delayed, detonating the next morning. Of the 611 commandos who took part in the raid, 169 were killed and 215 were captured. It was a mission that many thought impossible, but the brave men who took part in the raid on St Nazaire proved them wrong. The destruction of the dock facilities at St Nazaire severely hindered the German Navy's ability to launch U-boats into the Atlantic. This had a major impact on the war effort, as the U-boats were a major threat to Allied shipping, particularly goods convoys from the USA. Additionally, the raid also had an impact on the German battleship Tirpitz. The Tirpitz had the potential to be a major threat to the Allied naval forces in the Atlantic, but only the St Nazaire dry dock was large enough to accommodate it. After the raid on St Nazaire, the German Navy was forced to keep the Tirpitz in Norway, as such it was never put into action. The Tirpitz was sunk by British Lancaster bombers in 1944, without ever having sunk a single vessel. The raid on St Nazaire will forever be remembered as the greatest raid of all. These men risked their lives for their country and for freedom. They accomplished their suicide mission heroically and without hesitation. The destruction of the dock facilities at St Nazaire severely hindered the German Navy's ability to launch U-boats into the Atlantic and neutralized the Tirpitz by denying it access to the Atlantic. Thanks for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you want more like this, and suggestions for topic ideas or changes to how the video is formatted.